Okay, I decided to make a short video to talk a little bit more about how to write a response. So, the first thing that we talked about in class, and I think that there was some confusion, and so I want to try to clarify this a little bit. I think that last Thursday we had so much to do, and I think I rushed this assignment too much for you, and I want to tell you that I'm sorry that we rushed so much. So, what we wanted to do, and is that I'd hoped we would have had time to do the worksheet in class, but we actually didn't. So I'm going to show you the link. We're at 5.7 and I've copied this and moved it down to the other link I'll show you in a minute. So this is the worksheet that I showed you in class. And what it says over here is it says what you could respond to in a chapter. That means suggestion. The modal could means possibility. So it doesn't really mean that you have to do everything. These were just some ideas that I came up with, and I thought it might help you get started. So let's talk about it again for just a minute. Maybe a character's actions or decisions you either agree or disagree with. So I gave this example from chapter 17 because I believe that Phoebe and her sister Prudence treat their mother very badly, even though she just really wants to help them. So I could say I was surprised by this because I think they didn't respect their mother very much, and mothers deserve respect. So then I'm going to talk about what I would add to this, or what I could, possibility, add to this is reasons from the chapter what Phoebe and Prudence did that I think was unkind and disrespectful to their mom. So that's one possibility. Second possibility is the significance of one event in the story. Okay, so in chapter 20, and we're about to get to those chapters, when Phoebe's mother leaves, the family has to decide what has happened. They still don't know why she left, and they will have to consider the possibilities. So, and remember, we talked about what this means. This is another way to do possibility. I'm going to show you this. She might have left is another way to show a possibility in the past. And I'm going to work on this with you guys in class on Thursday. But she might means maybe. It means I don't really know. There's just a 50-50 chance. So with this expression, I can give you several possibilities as to why she left. So we could say, for example, she might have left because her family doesn't appreciate her. We could say she might have left because she's worried about something. She might have left because she has a secret that she's hiding from her husband. And some of you guys came up with that the other day too. So that's another possibility. So right now we have two possibilities for responses, and you can just choose one. The idea is not to do all of them. Okay, the relationship between two characters. You could talk about the relationship between Graham and Gramps, and you could talk about how their marriage has lasted for 40 years and how they are a really good couple and why you think that. In this case, I decided to talk about Ben and Sal because I thought in the beginning Sal was very uncomfortable when Ben first touched her. She flinched, and she wasn't sure why she reacted that way because she actually likes him. And then later on, they actually become more like friends, and then later become more like a couple. So as she learns to trust Ben, and as she learns to see that her situation and Ben's situation have a lot of similarities, she sees that they are a lot alike, and maybe this is a good reason to have Ben as her first boyfriend. Okay, and then the other one we talked about is the effect that one character has on another. And we said our example was that Sal's relationship with her mom is both positive and negative. Positively, they're very close to each other and very similar. Negatively, Sal depends on her mother a lot, so when her mother leaves, she's kind of lost. So you could give examples of that. And then the last one is something from the text you have experienced in your own life. So my example was with my stepfather. And I said that my mother and my stepfather had a very similar relationship to Gram and Gramps. And I could give examples of that. So connect to the story. So what I'm asking you to do is, these are suggestions or possibilities. So what I'm asking you to do really is choose something that you want to talk about in your chapters. And we gave, excuse me, my voice still. I gave you some suggestions of what you could say when you wanted to start your response. So I thought that in chapters 13 through 16, you might find examples of these. But after you complete the chart like I did up here, then you would really just choose one to write about and write a paragraph. You don't need to do all of them. And even these suggestions might not be what you want to talk about. You might want to talk about something very, very different. And one thing I want to remind you of is that when we do the discussion posts, very, very often you guys tell me your opinions about the different topics. And all you're doing here is the same thing. You're telling an opinion about a topic, and you're using examples from the story to tell why you think the way you did, or why your opinion is the way it is. So you've actually, if you look back at some of your discussion posts, you're going to find out that you actually have already been doing this. You just didn't really know that that's what you were doing. You were talking about the characters. So let's go back to this one, something from the text that you've experienced in your own life. When we did the last discussion topic, you guys talked about the three families in the story: Sal's family, Phoebe's family, and Mary Lou's family. And I asked you to describe the three families. And then I asked you to tell in your own life which family is the most similar to your family and why. That's exactly what this is here, something that you've experienced in your own life. So I want to remind you that you are already doing this. And so it's not really that hard, but I don't want you to think that you need to do all of this. You just choose one. Maybe when you look at some of these suggestions here, one is just, you just know that you want to write about that. Then just do that. You don't need to complete the whole chart. So remember, your response is just one idea, not all of them.